Hello everyone, the topic covered in this video is relative frequency. So the formula, relative frequency is equal to the frequency of an event occurring or taking place over the total number of trials. Relative frequency, so this is the definition. It is the number of times an event happens divided by the total number of outcomes that took place in an experiment, also known as the number of trials. It is used for experimental probability, which is based on theory rather than actual results. So a potential question, the question could be: the probability that a biased dice will land on 6 is 0.3. The dice is going to be rolled 200 times. Work out an estimate for the number of times the dice will land on 6. So for this question, to know that probability is in decimals, probability is always less than 1. What needs to be done is that the probability is multiplied by the total number of trials. So for this question, multiply 0.3 by 200. 200 is the total number of trials. So your answer is 60 times. So the estimate of the number of times the dice will land on 6 is 60 times. Now we're going to look at an exam question. So the question says a biased spinner can land on 1, 2, 3 or 4. The table has the probability of landing on 2 and 4, and to point out, it says biased, so it means that each value is not going to be 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, which means that it's varied. So from the table, we can see that the probability of landing on a 2 is 0.32 and the probability of landing on 4 is 0.17. So the probability that the spinner will land on 3 is twice the probability that the spinner will land on 1. And then afterwards, this is all the information in the question. So obviously, it'll ask you to calculate the probability of landing on a 3 and landing on 1. And then they'll say all your questions for this type will usually give you this amount of information, and then they'll ask you to fill out the table. So obviously, the question is complete the table. So first you subtract 0.17 and 0.32 from 1. So that's equal to 0.51. And since they said that the probability of landing on 3 is twice the probability of landing on 1, we add 2 and 1 together to get 3. So altogether we have 3 chances or probability of landing on a 1 or a 3. And then from there, we divide 0.51 by 3 to get the probability of landing on 1, and that is 0.17 as well. And then you multiply 0.17 by 2 to get the probability for landing on a 3, and that is 0.34, which is now seen in the table. So now we've completed part A. So part B is Johnny is going to spin the spinner 200 times. Work out an estimate for the number of times that the spinner will land on 2. And obviously we'll do the same thing as we did in the example question. We look at the probability of landing on 2 and multiply that by the total number of trials, which is 200. So 0.32 times by 200 is 64. So the answer is 64 times. I hope you found this video useful. Please click on the subscribe and bell buttons for more content from this channel, and please feel free to share. Thank you for watching.